You wanna know who can tell you how to beat MAGA? And this is gonna blow your mind, and you're gonna be like, "Give me a br" just hear me out, but more importantly, hear her out, okay? Marjorie Taylor Greene. I know, and by the way, she's not here for it, okay? She does not wanna go back and relitigate, and I was about this, and I said that, and QAnon this. She doesn't wanna do it, she doesn't wanna own it. I get it. It doesn't really matter the way she can tell you what went down that, in her opinion, destroyed MAGA and what Trump really is and where his people now are and how much opportunity there is to actually own the best part of that populist movement of all these millions of people, many who used to be Democrats, who are right about what's wrong with aspects of our economy and how available they are. So if you want inside scoop about how this went down and what happened with her and MAGA and what it means for the midterms, welcome to the Chris Cuomo Project. I'm Chris Cuomo, and that's what I'm here for. And look, early on, this interview is going to look like it's about to end, but that's just noise. We get past it and we get into the signal of what you need to hear if you want to see things change for the better in this country. Marjorie Taylor Greene is absolutely worth listening to if you want to see MAGA turn into anything that can mean anything for this country. If you want to see Trump gone and better days to come, listen to this. So let's just start with the most interesting thing, which is us. You and I have never spoken directly before. Obviously, I have been covering you since you came into politics because you were very, very emblematic of what the draw and power and scope of MAGA was. So that's how I was introduced to you. You were like the spirit
Mm.
animal of what Donald Trump's populist movement was supposed to be. And let me, guess, actually, no, I don't have to guess. What did you think I represented in the media landscape? You can be honest.
Early on, I definitely thought you were the fake news media and the lying left and the press, and the you to me, you probably represented the part of the media that I felt lied about me every single day and mischaracterized me.
And how did you feel that you were being miscast?
Well, I was name called, and I'm not specifically talking about you, but just I'm generalizing. I was called all types of names in the mainstream media. I was called a Nazi, a racist, a bigot, anti-Semitic. I was called all types of names, names that I had never been called ever in my life before I ran for Congress in 2020 by all the people that have known me or met me in the real world and know me as a person. And so when I ran for Congress in 2020, the I call it the political industrial complex. They characterize you, basically create a character of you that isn't real. And that's the character that gets sold in the media or in your opponent's fundraising emails or your opponent's ads and on the internet. So that was my experience when I first entered politics, and I had never done politics before. I didn't hold a state house position or a state senate seat. I didn't even go to my local Republican meetings because people didn't know when I ran for Congress, I was criticizing Republicans just as much as I was criticizing Democrats.
So when you look back as to the things that you said and how you presented yourself early on, what is your take on what you would have done differently or what you understand about why it went the way it went, positive and negative?
Well, in all fairness, this is your first time talking to me. And you've probably only known me from clips you've seen, short clips. You never talked to me in long form. And you probably, well, I know you never went to any of my campaign stops and heard any of my speeches back then. So the things I was talking about was our national debt, which infuriates me still to this day. I was talking about corruption in Washington, D.C., talking about draining the swamp. I was talking about wide open borders, people coming across our border. I was talking about sending money, hard earned American tax dollars overseas and foreign aid. And so these were a lot of the things I was campaigning against. I always have been for term limits. I signed that pledge and co sponsored that bill when I got to Congress. So many of the things I was talking about, I still totally feel and agree with today. So nothing has changed about my opinions, many of them policy wise. What has changed, though, is the tone in which I say it. And that was something that I learned through my time in Washington, D.C. Is when I got there, remember, I had never been in politics before, so I came in very
Mhm.
naive, extremely naive. I didn't know anything.
Mhm.
And I was one of the most attacked Republicans when I got there. So my defenses were up big time because I was constantly being attacked and mischaracterized and lied about so many times. So naturally, as a normal human being, my defenses were up. So my rhetoric was strong, but I also had learned that style rhetoric from Donald Trump. And over time, and I saw Democrats do the exact same thing, harsh rhetoric. Um, and I saw it on both sides of the aisle. And that's what I call toxic politics. That to the point I'm at now, I want nothing to do with it because it doesn't solve problems. It doesn't solve any of the problems that I originally ran for Congress on.
Well, that's because that's not what gets rewarded. That's not what gets advantage. We've turned our politics into a situation where it's all about which side is worse, which is way easier
Yep.
than, I mean, if you and I are going to have a competition and the key for you to win is to just make me lose, that's a lot easier than showing that you're better than me. I mean, the analogy is our politics, I think, has become like, you and I are on the starting line. You say, on your mark, get set, go, and then you trip me. And, then you just kinda, like, jog along. You don't have to run that fast. You just have to run faster than I do. That's what our politics is. So, everybody looks at MTG and says, "She changed." Change. Your name and the word
Mhm.
change is always within
Yeah.
3 steps of each other.
Mhm.
So, when you look back, what got it for me is I'm not an insulter. Like, if you were to go back and look what I would say when we were covering you, I'm not a gotcha guy. I'm not an insulting. I don't do that. I don't give as good as I get in those things because I understand rhetorically it's like a waste. So that's not what I do. I'll fight outside TV. I love to fight. I train in combatives twice every week. But
Mhm.
this is a war of BS. What got it with you early on is that you were presented to me as a conspiracist. This is a
Yeah.
this is a QAnon
Mhm.
person. This is she's with Alex Jones on Sandy Hook, and it was like that
No.
was the end of the
No.
analysis for me because that guy is a scumbag. He made up a lie about a tragedy that ruined a community, and he did it for profit, and we know this because his lawyer admitted it in open court. So
Mm.
that's what did it for me with you. What did I have wrong?
Well, I've been pretty much well, first I wanna say, that that's completely wrong about Sandy Hook. I would never call any school shooting, say that it was not real. It absolutely was real. That's horrific.
You didn't think
So,
Parkland was a false
um
flag?
no, I did not. And I'm on record over and over talking about it, how horrific it is. And so I'm not going to be put on trial by you right now
No.
for things that I never said,
Good,
because then I would be seeing you as the same person I thought you were
good.
years
I'm
ago.
just giving you a
And
chance to clarify it for people
I don't
in the
need to
audience.
clarify it. You're the only person that I'm having to clarify this with. As a matter of fact, I haven't had a conversation like this in quite a few years, to be honest with you, Chris. But I think you're doing this with me because this is the first time you're talking to me. So you think you have to do this with me. But I'll be very matter of fact with you. I support the Second Amendment. all the way. As a woman, I own many guns because my life has been threatened so many times because of the nasty, harsh rhetoric that's been said about me and the lies like calling me a conspiracy theorist and the lies saying that I think school shootings aren't real. All of those things have brought really serious death threats on me and
Mhm.
my family. And I believe 100% in my right to defend myself. And if that means I have to unload every single bullet in my magazine because someone is coming to try to kill me, I will absolutely do so. So I just want to be really clear about that. And the other thing is a lot of the conspiracy theories that I got so-called accused of, guess what? Many of them have turned out to be true. And so I can hang my hat on that. But as far as, differences of political opinions, here's the problem in our country. Politics is treated like a team sport, and it's not a team sport. And many Americans, as a matter of fact, most Americans talk to are absolutely sick and tired and fed up with it. They're tired of the blue jerseys and the red jerseys because it's all a bunch of bullshit and it hasn't fixed anything in this country. So I bet you and I can agree on that. But if we have to walk down the entire road of Marjorie Taylor Greene's history, because I could pull out garbage I've heard about you and pull it up and say, well, what about you, Chris? Then I don't think we're doing anything productive here today. Now, if you want to have an interview about things that are current, and ask me legitimate questions instead of trying to run me back down the trail of you said this or you said that, then I don't want to do this at all today. But I
I
will have
I
an
get it.
engaging, productive conversation with you if you are willing to do that.
I get it. I get it. You just little context. I
I
am
don't
not
We didn't need the context.
well, but
You
my
needed the
audience no,
context.
no, no. My
No, your
audience
audience didn't need it. No,
I'm
your
telling
audience
you,
didn't need it. I've been on your network.
you gotta trust me on
I
this.
I don't I don't believe you because I walk around in my own skin every fucking day, and I have not had to have this type of
I
interview in
understand that.
years.
I understand. I'm just telling you that
No, I think you maybe understand it now because I had to tell you this,
no,
but
I look, Marjorie, I get a lot of the same things that you're talking about. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit of a hybrid in this.
okay,
I've had a lot of
then
people
you
say a
should
lot of
know
things.
not to do it to other people. How about
But
that?
I'm not doing it. I didn't
Yeah,
accuse
you
you.
have done it. Yes, you have. You
No,
have
I'm
done it.
not. I'm
You have
asking
pulled
you to
this out to
clarify. All right, anyway, look, I get why
I
you're
don't need to
sensitive about it.
clarify. I don't need to clarify
Okay,
lies about me.
I get it.
That's it,
I get
period.
it. I get it. So let me ask you this, because this was the point of it. The change. You say, I didn't change. Trump changed, not me. Is that entirely true to you?
Yes, and I think it's true to many of the people that voted for him. We've watched that unfold, literally, right in front of our eyes. Over the past year, I would say, especially the past year, he campaigned. I campaigned with him. He campaigned on no more foreign wars, no more regime change,
Wait, hold on.
and
So on that
literally,
one, he says, so he says that we're doing to him what you say I'm doing to you and I say is done to me. He says, no, 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 no. I said no more forever wars, but I also said, which he didn't say, but he does argue this, that Iran can never have a nuke. So I'm only doing what I said I would do, which everybody else was afraid to do, including Marjorie Taylor Greene, which is I stood up to Iran. Nothing changed. Do you believe that?
well, months ago, former DNI Tulsi Gabbard testified before Congress that Iran was nowhere near having a nuclear weapon. And so did many other
Mhm.
nuclear regulatory agencies.
Mhm, that's
This is
true.
on
That
record.
is true.
And so President Trump was also informed of this. He was briefed on it many times by many different people. So he still, if he is saying Iran can never have a nuclear weapon, he was told that Iran is nowhere near having a nuclear weapon, but he still chose to go to war
Why do you
against them.
think?
So, in my opinion, that is breaking a campaign promise. That is breaking a campaign promise, and that's my opinion. And that's also the way many of the people that supported him for so many years on this issue
Mm.
especially feel this way. And I'm not Donald Trump. I can't say why but I can guess and give you my
What's your
opinion.
guess?
And but Well, he said it himself. He went to protect Israel. He went and bombed Iran with Netanyahu in coordination with Israel, and he is on record talking about that.
有时候外面的天气热到发疯，还好有 Food Panda， 手机拿出来，各式美食一键送到，生活。